YouTube? It's on. I'm back with another story time. Y'all, your girl feel way better since last video. My nose done opened up more. My taste buds are completely back. Like I told y'all I was gonna bounce back. Now I know y'all see that title and y'all like, what? Like, what's tea? I'm gonna tell y'all. So before we get into this video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, send to a friend and family member, and let's get into the story time. So y'all, I'm gonna start at the very beginning so you know nothing's left out, so that way y'all won't be confused. So I was sitting in the room talking to my mama about my birthday plans because she ended up asking me, like, you know, what was your plans for your birthday, because I'm always sitting in the house and I don't never do anything. So I'm telling her, you know, like, I don't know, I didn't have anything in mind, you know, especially where we stay, you know, there's not many things for us to do. So she was like, you know, go find something. Try to find something. She like, you know, y'all always in the house. Y'all always on parent mode. She was like, it's okay to have fun sometimes. Like, y'all just need to go out and enjoy yourself. I got Maya. Now, remind y'all, Maya was no more than probably like one. If not one, she was finna turn one. So Maya was the only baby at the time. So I'm like, okay. She like, you know, don't worry, because y'all know this is my first time ever leaving Maya. So I was kind of like, you know, yeah. So she like, don't worry, go out and enjoy yourself. I know everything is, you know. So I'm like, okay. So me and my boyfriend came to an agreement to go to Dave & Buster's. You know, like, that's our kind of thing. Like, real chill, you know, play some games, eat, you know, just us. So we go to Dave & Buster's or whatever. You know, we end up playing games. We enjoying ourselves. So it's time for us to leave. So we was gonna book an Uber, but the Uber was like over $100. So we like, you know, let's see if we could try to find somebody to come pick us up, so that way, you know, we could try to save that honey. So the first person, you know, that came to mind was my mama cousin, because, you know, he used to be in the area. So I text him, I'm like, hey cousin, are you busy? He texts back, he like, nah cuz, what's up? So I'm like, if you didn't mind, can you please, you know, take us home from Dave & Buster's? So he like, yeah, I'm on the way. So it took him about 30 minutes to get to us. So within them 30 minutes, you know, we went back in there, was playing games and, you know, finishing up. So then he texts me and he like, I'm pulling in. So he goes outside, and when we goes outside, he gets out the car, and y'all, he just acting, you know, like really, I don't know, funny. He couldn't stay still. I don't know how to explain it, but he was just all over the place. Like, his words were like sliding. He wasn't talking correctly. He just was, you know, acting off. I didn't think anything of it because I always known him to be, you know, the goofy, acting funny type. He always acted funny with us, so I didn't think nothing of it. The way his car was tinted out. You couldn't even tell if there was someone in there. So we gets in the back seat not knowing that it was someone in the passenger seat, which was a female. So we get in the car. She didn't like turn her head. She didn't speak. She didn't nothing, which we still didn't think nothing of him, because, you know, some people just don't want to talk. So then we leaves, and we on the way to, you know, my house. And, you know, he blasted his music or whatever, you know, everybody, you know, to their self or whatever. So I started to get sleepy. And my boyfriend, you could tell, was already sleepy because he laid his head back on the little, y'all know the little head thing in the back of the car. He laid his head on there. So he claimed he was just resting his eyes. So now at this point, you know, I'm laying on the other headpiece and I'm just, you know, looking out the window, but my eyes is slowly closing. So before we got on the main street, because, you know, my mama stayed in a cul-de-sac, so it was his main street that led up to the cul-de-sac. So it was the main street, and then it was his first street right here, which is the street that my boyfriend stayed on. Then it was his second opening, which was another cul-de-sac, and then it was his third opening, which was the cul-de-sac that my mama stayed in. So when you go down the main street, you go all the way to the stop sign and you make a left, and my mama's house was on the right-hand side. So before we get to the main street, I hear the music stop and I feel the car slow down. So I open my eyes because I'm thinking we there, but then when I had just closed my eyes, we nowhere, you know, near her house. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, because if y'all needed to talk, why would y'all slow the car down? So I like, you know, turn my head to look at them, and they whispering. So when I look at them, they whispering. So say this his face, her face is like, they just whispering. So I'm like, you ain't need to slow the car down for her to whisper nothing in your ear. The music, okay, understandable. Y'all trying to hear each other. This is what I'm thinking. So I tell you no lie. I thought that they both turn around and they look at me and my boyfriend with this smirk on their face. When I say smirk, I'm talking about the most creeped, sneaky, slimy smirk ever. Like, they was on some timing. That's how they look. So remind you, I don't know this girl. I never seen this girl a day in my life. She turned around and she's looking dead at me. I'm talking about some looking me in my eyes, and she's smiling. At this time, the car's completely stopped. Like, we just sitting in the middle of the street. So she looking me dead in my eyes, and my mama cousin is looking my boyfriend in his face. Now, mind you, he's laying back. He claimed he was resting his eyes, but I believe he fell asleep for a minute because he didn't even know that he was looking at him. So I go to tapping my boyfriend because I'm like, you know, like, what's tea? Like, why they looking at us? So then they were staring at us, and then they looked back at each other, and then they continued to look forward, and they started busting out laughing. I'm like, you know, okay. So then we get on the main street to my mama's house. Okay, the first street I told y'all, that's where my boyfriend stayed at. So we almost to the second opening, which is, you know, a cul-de-sac. Once you get right there, remind y'all, this street is pitch black dark. It's late at night, you know, and it's on like 2 street lights. So the car stops again, but remind y'all, I'm still up. I'm on my P's and Q's because what was that back there before we even got on this main street? So now I'm feeling some type of way. So the car stops again. Now remind y'all, they never continued to play the music again. It was just dead silent in here. So the car stops again. So now I'm sitting completely up. And I'm like literally holding my boyfriend's hand. I'm squeezing his hand. Y'all, when they stopped the car, the passenger, which is the female, whispered something in my mama cousin's ear. And I don't know what she was saying because, again, I could not hear. She was whispering something in his ear, and then they turned around and they looked at us again. Now, this time they looked at us like they was like literally staring at us like longer. So I'm like, you already know, I'm like, what's up? Now, y'all know I always been paranoid. That's why I carry the purse. I'm like literally talking to my boyfriend. He look up, and he looking at them. We looking at them again. She's looking at me. But this second time, now she looking at me. She like looking back and forth at me and my boyfriend. My mama cousin is doing the same thing as well. Remember when I told y'all I would get that gut feeling like, you know, something is finna happen? The feeling came. So y'all, first thing I thought was, I'm finna have to defend myself to make sure I get back to my child. That was the first thing I thought of. The first thing I thought of. If I could express how I felt, like how my heart dropped, my hands were sweating, I didn't know what was finna go on in that moment. Like, I'm just sitting there like I'm lost, but in my head, I know something is not right. Like, I feel like they thinking something worse. So, like, y'all, I'm, like, shocked because in my head, I'm like, I'm finna have to do something I don't wish my worst enemy would have to go through. Like, that's the only thing I'm thinking. I'm like, to get back to my child and to get us out of the situation, I'm gonna have to do it. Like, that's all I'm thinking is, like, I'm gonna have to do it. Because y'all don't understand what I felt in that moment. Like, oh, my goodness, like, I don't even know how to explain the feeling. Like, just picture me sitting in the back seat, my boyfriend right here on the side of me, and my mama cousin, and I guess that was his girlfriend, I'm assuming, or I don't know, a friend of his. I don't know. Just picture us in the car, and all of a sudden he's driving. He turns the music off. He stops the car in the middle of the street, and they whisper something to each other, and they turn around and they look at me and my boyfriend. What else would y'all think they said, y'all? Like, please help me understand. So when they did it the second time, I'm really like in my mode, like this is survival mode. Like, I'm finna have to, you know, yeah. So I'm holding my boyfriend's hand with my left hand. In my right hand, I has it on my purse. In my purse, I had like a taser, pepper spray, knife. So the first thing I went for was the knife. I didn't let nobody know I had the knife because I don't know. I never been in that situation, so I didn't know what to do. I didn't want them to know that I had it, and it went a whole nother way than what it did. So I have the knife like under my thigh. And I'm like, as I'm doing all this, y'all, I'm steady looking this girl in her eyes because she just looking at me smirking like she had the most sneakiest smile ever. And like they said, listen to your gut feeling. And I'm listening to it, and it was telling me like, y'all got to get out this car. That's exactly what it was telling me. That's why I was gripping my boyfriend's hand so tight, because I'm like, I need you up, like completely up. I know you sleepy, but like, I need you aware because I don't know what they own. Like, I don't know what they own. And y'all like, okay, your mama cousin, that should be your cousin. Right. That's why I was like, I'm second guessing myself in the car. But then again, I'm like, no chances. I'm going to make sure I get back to my baby. That's all. That's it. That's all. I got to make sure I get back to my baby. Now, remind y'all, all this is happening down the street from my mama's house. He stopped the car down the street from my mama's house. And for the smart asses that's going to be like, well, why y'all didn't just get out the car and walk if y'all was down the street from your mama's house? The doors was on child lock. They were on child lock. How I know? Because I tried. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, my heart racing, hands sweating. I don't know what to do. So we stared at each other for a good minute. I don't even know how long, but it felt like it was the longest stare ever because I would not take my eyes off her. And I was kind of like glancing at him as well because I didn't know what they were up to. After they were staring at us, they did the same thing they did the first time. They looked at each other, gave each other this little smirk, and they turned around and continued to go forward, and then he started the car back up. So now I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm sitting completely up, and I'm like my legs shaking, hands shaking. I'm ready to get out the car. So then we pulls up to my mama's driveway, and then he's trying to talk. As we pull up, he like, look, cuz, you know, just don't mention it to your mama. What? Don't mention what to my mama? Because what was you thinking about doing? What were you thinking about doing? So he pulls up in the driveway, and he gets out and opens the door for us because, like I said, the doors was on child lock. So he gets out. I'm making sure, you know, my boyfriend getting out right along with me. Let's go. So then my mama seen us pulling up in the driveway, so she already at the front door waiting on us to come in. So I'm one of those people, like, if I won't say it, my face will show it. So I'm walking up to her. She like, Zai, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What happened? So my boyfriend goes in and he go grab Maya and he go lay down with her. I'm pacing back and forth because, as I told y'all, like, my anxiety, all that is through the roof. So I'm pacing back and forth and I'm trying to, like, calm myself down so I can explain to my mama what just happened. So she like, Zai, talk, like, what just happened? So I go in there and I tell her the same thing I just told y'all. So she was like, he did what? What? So I'm like, yeah. So I'm asking him, I'm like, tell me if I'm tripping. Like, do that not give weird? Do that not give setup? She was like, oh, no. She sped past me, went outside, and she went to snap on him. And she was like, so basically, like, what was y'all on? She did go outside. My mom didn't know that it was a female in the car because, like I told y'all, his car is tinted. So she was like, what female? So she goes to the car and she sees the female. And, you know, she's basically snapping because she like, what y'all was on? What y'all was planning on doing? Why is my child saying that y'all stopped the car twice and was just looking at them and da-da-da, that, and the third? So he like, okay, it wasn't like that and da-da-da. So she was like, you know, like, what was it like? I was just playing. She like, playing like how? You don't play like that. Like, and he say, no, we were just trying to see if we was to do it, how would they react? What? If you was to do what? I'm still to this day waiting on you to say you were trying to do what? I don't even play like that. I don't. And like I said, my gut never pointed me wrong, y'all. Never. Like, every time I listen to my gut, I be correct at all times. Somebody say, listen to your gut. This man said, oh, we're trying to see if we did, how would they react? If you did what, ho? So now I'm sitting up with an attitude, and he's trying to convince my mama that, like, oh, they was just playing. I'm not going for it because I don't even play like that. I don't play like that. So he trying to comes to the door to talk to me, to call himself apologizing. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Baby, y'all had to be off one because ain't no way y'all tried to play with me like that. Then y'all stopped not one, but 2 times. And then you still in my driveway after trying to pull that little stunt. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. You gonna see it. That's another thing that stuck with me because we was trying to see how would they react if we was to do it. What you mean, was to do what? Cause I tell you what, if I wasn't making it out, nobody was. I promise you he wasn't. So he was trying to apologize and stuff, and basically I didn't want to hear it. I was not going for it. I don't care. Like I said, I don't play like that. None of that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. Ever since that night, I have not talked to him. He been blocked on everything. No, you won't reach out to me. I don't even understand how I felt in that moment. I felt like I was really finna have to, you know, be in survival mode. Like, and that would have traumatized me. But, baby, at least I made it out. That's all I would have said. At least I made it out because I thought that I was finna have to fight my way through. to save my life to get back to my child. That's all I kept thinking about was my baby. I was like, by any means necessary, I have to get to my child. Now, I don't know if my mom will continue talking to him because, you know, after that whole little situation, I distance myself from everybody. Like I said, I don't play like that. I don't think it was funny. Still to this day, I'm trying to figure out what you mean. I was trying to see how they would react if I was to what? Why you didn't finish your sentence? So, yeah, I didn't stick around to know, like, what all he was talking about or what all she was talking about because I don't even play like that. I don't deal with nobody. I told y'all I don't trust a soul. And then people be sitting here, like, people be laughing when they think that, oh, she just paranoid or she just scary. No, bitch, I got anxiety and I'm very paranoid. I admit it, I am. I'd rather be paranoid than sorry. And that's another reason why I don't go to places like, it just gives sneaky and creep. So, y'all, that was it for this little story time. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, send to a friend, a family member, and make sure y'all don't trust no bitch.